So today I want to talk about something which really interests me. Now this is corporate social responsibility, and although if you've never come across it particularly or you've never looked into it, that seems like one of those acronyms that maybe doesn't always make sense. CSR gets bandied about. It actually stands for something really quite important. It's to do with the type of impact that you are making, and I think impact is measured on various forms. Now, lots of people who are interested in it look at these, for example, your environmental impact and your ethical one. You know, what is it like for people to come and work for you? And your economic impact. So are you saving, or are you spending, or are you doing so too liberally, or where's your consideration? And I think there's also an ethical one. How are your products sourced? And so if you're still a fairly small business and you don't feel that there are many ways in which you can make savings, in fact, it can really help to get people on board with some of the simple stuff. Think avoiding too much use of plastics, for example. That brings me to a very simple idea, which is how do you get rid of your rubbish so that you actually think through those kind of things quite sensibly. Encourage people to bring water bottles in some form which is different to being plastics. You could also think about how you deal with paper around the office, not only avoiding printing things off unnecessarily, but the process of getting rid of the paper, and also perhaps your electricity usage so that you're not overly impacting the environment. So really at the end of the day, CSR stands for think impact of what you do. And I think reducing that impact in terms of unnecessary wastage and unnecessary unhappiness is always going to be what you're trying to avoid. Now, really where people spend money is more in the arena of the philanthropic type of principles that they undertake and the charitable ventures that they encourage people to take part in. And some of those, for example, are charity runs, so you can raise funds, but also there can be even simpler ones, really, volunteering, where you've got a few people who volunteer, whether it's after hours or at the weekend, in order to make a difference to a public space, which might be cleaning it up. I can remember I did all of that at one stage, picking up rubbish with, big long pincers, which was quite fun. And it's a sociable thing. It doesn't have to be onerous and something that you find that you're bored or fed up of. In fact, you're doing something which is meaningful. So taking a child's space, for example, the type of playground that they've got, and tidying it up or cleaning it up, or putting plants in pots and making pretty gardens for people, and sponsoring things. You often see as you come up to a roundabout that somebody's sponsored a roundabout, but do it more with a view to thinking that you're making a difference to your local community rather than with sponsorship in mind necessarily, because of the benefit that might bring. And it's more in keeping with the kind of philanthropic ethic that's behind it, or ethos perhaps. And I think there are a few more. If you have a team event, you could be inviting some OAPs who can enjoy you. They can come for events if it seems appropriate to be able to do so. And one company that I'm involved with is doing a really genuine thing, and that's lending their van to be able to ferry people around locally. So there are lots of things that CSR encompass, and you don't have to be a massive business with a very big budget to be able to do this. So do have a think. It makes a very big difference. It also improves lots of goodwill around your business. So take care, everyone. I'll be on again very soon.